1 month ago we gave our full review of the LG G3. Now, after a few weeks of use and one software update, let's see what has changed in this LG G3 Revisited. So welcome back for another video, Joe here from the Nerd Herd. Let's dive into it. So probably my biggest concern with the phone is always to keep it as sound as possible, and that's a pretty difficult task to accomplish given that I also use phones completely naked, without a case or even a screen protector. After 1 month, I gotta say that the G3 has remained exactly the same as what you saw in the initial review. Apart from the minor scratch I showed you last time, it has 0 scratches both on the back and front, and even the edges are perfect, so that is definitely something I appreciate. It has also remained pretty clean, it has no stains like the HTC One did, so I have to praise LG for the materials choice, believe it or not. I'm not totally satisfied with the color choice, so I might put a skin on it pretty soon or maybe just change the back cover, but that is just personal taste, so it might not affect you. Staying on the hardware side, I gotta be honest. Camera is far better than what I initially thought. In my review I said that colors were washed out and the overall quality of the photos was not what I expected. Well, I spent some time with it and I've learned how to use it, and I got excellent results, especially in daylight, where the small sensor isn't that noticeable. Shooting time is not super fast with HDR on, but I think photos look better with it, so I guess I can wait half a second more. One great advantage I've come to enjoy more in video mode is the 4K shooting. Of course, this isn't the 4K quality you'd expect from professional cameras, but the 4K itself gives you a lot of room for cropping if you watch your footage in Full HD, and that's super comfortable to me. The main downside of shooting 4K is the space required, so I've been forced to install an external 16GB SD card, but that is expected and totally normal. Overall, probably the camera app is the one thing that's keeping me from rooting it and installing CyanogenMod. Also because the official Google camera can't shoot 4K for some reason, so if you guys have any ideas about that, be sure to let us know in the comments below. In my initial review I also said that the buttons on the back were not difficult to use, and I still think that, but I learned that they are a little bit uncomfortable when taking screenshots, so that might be something you'd wanna know. To be honest, however, I think that's a really minor downside if that allows LG to make those bezels so thin and keep the phone to an acceptable size. It has become to me a one-handed device, even with that 5.5 inches display. And that amazes me when I think that just a couple of years ago only the Galaxy Note line had similar screen sizes, and they were definitely not one-handed smartphones. Oh, and by the way, I still find that the screen is simply awesome. I love everything about it, from the color balance to the sharpness to the viewing angles. It's just an insanely good display. In everyday usage, the Quad HD resolution isn't that bump up from the Full HD that I initially thought, but it's there, you can see it, and it doesn't affect everyday performances. The quad-core Snapdragon 801 has been an excellent companion in normal activities like web browsing and in more demanding tasks like gaming, but I'm not a huge gamer, so don't count on me about that. I can also confirm that battery life has stayed awesome during this time. Other G3 owners reported some problems after the Lollipop update, but I had a consistent 2 days time between charges, and that's something I was dreaming of since I got my first smartphone 5 years ago. On the software department, during this month there has been just one system update, which brought these new on-screen buttons. They are identical to the ones found in Android L, the first developer release that came out last summer, and they are certainly too big for my personal taste. They are better than the LG's ones, that's for sure, but I would have liked them more if they were closer to the ones on my Nexus 7. Apart from that, all the software has remained exactly the same, and I still don't like LG's skin. It's just so laggy and ugly, and sorry LG, I really can't stand it. As you can see, I try to make my phones as close to Android stock as possible, but the heaviness of LG software is always present, and it's just crazy that you have 2 gigs of RAM taken up just by the stock software all the time. Probably the one thing that I found useful from LG software is the Quick Remote app, which has become to me a super handy tool to control multiple devices at once, just with your phone. So overall, if you were to ask me if I'm happy with this phone, I'd say, yeah, totally. I like the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it performs, its display, its camera, its battery life, and as soon as I find a custom ROM that really satisfies me, it will also have the perfect software. So that was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let us know in the comment sections down here. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get our latest updates. I'm Joe from Nerd Herd, and I'll see you next time.